Prices went way down in October. Let's take a look at the reason why, and I guarantee it's not what you think. So the first chart I'm looking at here is the average sales price. So in Lewis County, you can see it went down about $30,000 this month. Now, you may be thinking the market's coming crashing down, but as you can see from this graph, it goes up and down quite a bit. Now, in the last video, we talked about how when everyone thought the market was plummeting, you can see that on the left side of the graph near the beginning of 2023, it was very short gyrations, for lack of a better word, going up and down. Now they're huge, and this signals a return to normalcy. This is normally what we look for in the market. So is the market collapsing? No. This is pretty standard fare for our area. So let's move on to the next graph. This is the average days on market, and you can see for the better part of the last 2 years we've been hovering between 40 and 80 days, and right now we're landing on an exact number of 60. So this also is pretty standard for what we're seeing, like I said, the last couple of years. In the past, averages have usually been around 100 to 120 days. So homes are moving relatively faster. I guess that would be the highlight I would put for that. This next chart here is the average percent of last original price. And so what this is showing is what does the house sell for versus what was it actually listed at. So this can encompass either price reductions or just where offers are coming in at. So let's say you list at $500,000. What this chart is showing is you're gonna land anywhere between 4 and 5% less. 5% would be around 25,000. So if you list at 500,000, you can expect to sell around 475,000. That's typically how it goes. However, if you're working with an agent who knows what they're doing, they will tell you to list closer to that 475 mark, and you're gonna get multiple offers to bid you up. I know it seems counterintuitive, but that is what the market data shows. This next chart here is the showings per listing. Back when the market was hot, homes were getting between 5 and 8 showings per listing. Currently, we're sitting at just above 2 showings per listing. So a lot of clients will say, hey, how come we're not getting a bunch of showings? And the sad reality of the situation is that the average home receives about 2 showings. While that's sad, here's some even more sad data as we take a look at the next chart. And that is the average showings it takes until the home goes pending. And that number is going between 8 and 10 for the last couple of years. So what that means is the average showing gets 2 listings. It takes 8 to 10 showings before the house goes pending. So that's why we're seeing a lot of homes with price reductions. We're seeing a lot of homes expire off the market again. So it's really important that you position your home with price, with staging, and an agent who does the marketing really well, so you can increase your amount of showings and increase your chances of getting sold. That said, this next chart is homes for sale, and you will see while we did reach a peak of the last 2 years, last month is going back down again. Now, we typically will see that after September. So in October, November, December, homes start to go off the market. People don't really like to think about showing during the winter time. It's wet, it's dirty, and also you have the holidays to work through. So a lot of people will take their homes off the market during this time and then relist around springtime. Is this wise? There's a couple of reasons why it is not the best decision, but again, that is what most people are doing. This next chart here shows kind of over the course of the last 10 years where is inventory. And you'll see that even though we reached a peak of the last couple of years, last month, that we also reached a similar peak in the middle of 2022, and prior to that, we never reached that point until 2017. So even though the amount of homes for sale are going up, it's still nowhere near what the standard level of homes for sale is. And so that is why we're still in the type of market we're in, where prices are not going down. And so anyone who is telling you the prices are going to start crashing or prices are going down, they're not looking at this data, because it truly is a supply and demand issue. So this next chart we're looking at is the amount of closed sales. What does the buyer activity look like? And so what we're looking here is it's been pretty standard levels for the last couple of years, and that's been hovering probably right around between 70 and 80 closed sales each month, with a peak over 100 back in what looks like to be July. But when we take a step back and look over the last 10 years, we are still incredibly low compared to what we have been doing in the last 5 years. And when the market was quote unquote normal, it was still much higher, where it would peak around 130, 140, and it would be standard that we'd be closing over 100 deals each month. Again, we've been averaging probably 70 to 80 for the last couple of years. Buyer activity is down, and you can point to the decrease exactly when they started raising interest rates. So the last chart we're going to be looking at now is the month's supply of inventory. And so what this tells you is whether it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. Now typically what we'll see is if it's anywhere under 5-6 months, you're in a seller's market. So the last time we were in a buyer's market was near the end of 2015, and it's been a seller's market since then. You can see that we're inching up closer to that 6-month mark. It looks like we touched on 5 months, and then now we're going back lower. So we're still in a seller's market for the foreseeable future. Now, basically what this means is that sellers can dictate the terms. Now, in this market, if you're not looking at the data, you think that buyers are in control, and they're really not. And so part of this is high prices. Sellers are getting the prices they want. Can buyers get some favorable terms? Yes, they can, because sellers are not looking at data. That being said, the buyers that are out there, they are paying incredibly high prices, and because of interest rates, they're paying incredibly high mortgage payments each month. So they are going to be a little bit more picky. You definitely want to position your house as a move-in ready house. The days where you can sell as is and there's multiple repairs required, those days are gone, and they're not coming back for the foreseeable future. Even though we are in a seller's market, it's not that the buyers have power, it's that they don't have the ability to handle any more than they already do. If this video was helpful to you, comment helpful down below, and if you have any questions, I answer every question personally, and make sure you give it a like, thumbs up. Also consider subscribing so you don't miss any Lewis County real estate and national market data updates.